Hey, good morning. It's CT Mitchell, and I'm here on a fabulous Saturday morning, about 5 days into the launch of my very latest book, which is called The Decoder. And it came out on Monday, and it had immediate success. It went to number one in the hot new releases in the mystery thriller suspense genre within 6 hours. And that was all because of you, my readers, who have been backing me and supporting me now since 2015. And I really appreciate that support, and I don't take it lightly. But I wanted to put up today a quick little post, not only about that, but to perhaps give those who haven't seen or read any of my work a little bit of a taste. And I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that's actually read part of the Decoder to sort of see if you get a feeling of how it's written, why some people have already given me some 5-star reviews, and if that tickles your fancy, then maybe you want to join me and grab this latest release. So you're going to have to excuse me because I'm going to have to look back at my screen and read the actual book as we go. But here's a quick start. So chapter 1, we kick off and we say, the city was quiet at the crack of dawn. The suburbs were relatively normal, with just the flicker of the orange sun over the trees. Children were rousing from their slumber, waking to a brand new day. Los Angeles was a bustle of activity, but there was one moment of solitude, or something that many didn't actually have. Tanya considered herself one of the lucky ones. Emily was her only child, perfect in her own eyes, but sometimes she could get on her last nerve. The constant demand of motherhood wasn't uncommon, but was trying to juggle a career and a life at home at the same time. It wasn't easy doing it all alone, frazzled and hanging by the thread of her sanity, but somehow she persevered. She was standing mesmerized in the laundry at the basement of her apartment building. It was spinning hypnotically. She didn't put herself out there. She was afraid of what most men wanted and how they were going to be willing to do whatever she had to get. Being invisible had its advantages, and she tried to stay below the radar in her job and her working her fingers to the bone. It meant sacrifice, and sometimes her daughter fell through the cracks despite her very best efforts. She was only 8 years old, but with an opinion on everything. Dressed casually in tight pair of jeans and a baggy sweater, she didn't exactly figure that her figure was going to be all that flattering. Her hair was up in curlers, and she was relatively sure her quiet paradise would not be disturbed. She wasn't expecting a male voice clearing his throat. I'm sorry. My intention wasn't to scare you. I just live across the street. William proffered his hand, which was summarily rebuffed with a cautious eye of disapproval. He always depended on his charm and his seductive blue eyes to make her feel comfortable in his presence. It was the first time he couldn't get the right words to encourage a friendly banter. Her diminutive stature and beguiling green eyes caught him off guard. He was hovering over her with a scent of her perfume heavy in the air. His sweet and high intoxicating, it was making him light-headed and dizzy. It wasn't what he was expecting. Tanya was subtle about the way she roamed her eyes up and down his masculine form. She loved tall men and was quite compelling in the way she looked at the way that he looked at her. She couldn't stop thinking about how it had been so long since she had been satisfied beyond words. Her skin became clammy and her pulse raced a little bit faster. The white t-shirt was bulging and his muscles threatening to tear the fabric at the slightest movement. That's the beginning of chapter 1. So far it sounds like it could be a bit of a romance, but it actually isn't. It's actually a political thriller with, I suppose, a touch of romantic air thrown in. If that sounds like something that you may want to read, I've done it in a nice short read. It's quick, it's easy. You can knock this out in your lunchtime. I suggest that you go to the links below and grab a copy for yourself and welcome yourself into the CT Mitchell Library. When you're there, you're also going to have the opportunity to pick up 2 free downloads as well. And once you're in my newsletter, there's an additional bonus there as well. So I hope my little reading attempt has warmed you to the idea of having a look at my book. I'm throwing in a couple of free books as well, plus a bonus chapter for you to become part of my CT Mitchell Library. I look forward to welcoming you really soon. You have a great day. Bye for now.